Picture this. You roll out of bed, grab your phone, and boom, there's your president mid-war telling everyone to give up.
Повернутися до своїх сімей. На цій війні не варто вмирати. Я раджу вам жити. І я збираюся робити те саме.
Is this real?
What's going on?
Can't believe this is happening.
Chaos, right? But here's the thing. It's 100% fake. Looks real though, doesn't it? That's what millions of Ukrainians woke up to during their conflict with Russia. These sneaky little tricks are called deepfakes, made using AI. Basically, they put words in people's mouths. And here's the creepy part. These fakes are getting so good, they could fool even your most skeptical friend. Deepfakes are spreading faster than cat videos, and it's a big problem, especially in politics. We're talking fake news, phony scandals, and a whole lot of confusion. So how are these digital lies made? And what does this mean for the future of, well, truth? In a world where fake news is already everywhere, deepfakes take things to the next level. And the damage they can do, it's huge. In today's video, we are diving deep into the world of deepfakes, how they are messing with politics, and more importantly, how we can protect ourselves from being duped by these digital tricksters. Let's unravel this thread. Alright, so what exactly are deepfakes? They are AI-generated videos or even audio files that convincingly replace faces or voices. The tech behind it is called Generative Adversarial Networks or GANs. Sounds impressive, right? These systems take real videos, images, or sounds and tweak them to create something, well, totally fake. Think of GANs like a person who studies and mimics people. How a person smiles, talks, and moves. It learns from thousands of photos and videos, then spits out a new fake version that looks almost identical to the real thing. Basically, it's a copycat on steroids, copying and recreating everything from their facial expressions down to how they sound. At first glance, these deepfakes looks crazy real. You've got politicians giving speeches they never gave, celebrities showing up in videos they've never seen. Seriously, the line between what's real and what's fake is basically a smudge at this point. Now, deepfake tech didn't start out as the villain. It was all fun and games at first. Face swapping apps, goofy movie scenes, harmless stuff. But then things took a turn. It's now being used to spread misinformation, mess with elections, and wreck people's reputations. Here's where it gets even trickier. Deepfakes don't just mess with video. Oh no, they can completely swap out someone's voice. Using something called voice cloning, AI can take a tiny audio sample of a person and make them sound like they are saying anything. Mix that with a fake video, and you've got a recipe for one seriously convincing lie.
Bill Clinton flew on his private jet no less than 26 times.
Wow.
Whatever, no big deal.
He
was a
hung
good
out
guy.
at Mar-a-Lago?
Yeah, but I flew with him 26 times.
I've never flown with, it'd have to be my very best friends that I tour with all the time.
And this is where it gets dangerous, especially in politics. Imagine seeing a video of a world leader casually announcing, yeah, we're going to a war, or a politician spilling the beans on a scandal. If the video looks real, how do you not believe it? GANs, the tech behind deepfakes, work by setting two AIs against each other. One AI creates the fake, the other detects it and provides feedback to the AI that created the fake. And with each round, the fake gets harder to spot until eventually the fake looks nearly perfect. Deepfake technology is evolving fast, like really fast. Sure, it got some cool uses in entertainment and creativity, but on the flip side, it's becoming a powerful tool for manipulation. As these fakes get more realistic, telling what's real from what's not is getting harder and way more urgent. Back in 2020, a video of then US Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, went viral.
We want to give this president the opportunity to do something historic for our country.
It looked like she was slurring her words and stumbling through a speech. Sounds bad, right? But here's the thing. It was fake. Someone slowed the original video down to make her look, well, like she needed a nap. Even though it was fake, millions of people bought it before the truth finally caught up. And this isn't just one-off. Deepfakes are being used worldwide to mess with political opinions. Sometimes they are designed to make politicians look bad. Other times they create entire fake news stories, false statements, or even scandals, all with the goal of confusing voters. Yeah, democracy is having a real moment right now. The US isn't alone in this. Let's zoom out. Over in India, during 2020 elections, a politician used a deepfake video to speak in multiple languages he didn't actually know. Imagine having a conversation in 5 different languages when you can barely speak one. It wasn't meant to harm anyone, but it shows how easy it is to fake it in politics. In Ukraine, things got even more serious. During the war with Russia, a deep fake of President Zelensky was broadcast, showing him telling his people to surrender. Let's just say that caused a bit of a stir before people realized it was fake. And in Brazil, deep fakes have popped up in political campaigns too. In a country where social media drives so much of political conversation, these deep fakes spread faster than fact checkers can keep up. Fake news is already enough of a headache during election season, but deep fakes are like throwing gasoline on fire. When people see a video, they are wired to believe it because it looks so real. But when that video is fake, it can change the way they think and the way they vote. Deepfakes are dangerous because they tap into people's emotions. A fake video showing a candidate in negative light can spread like wildfire, especially on social media. Even if the video gets debunked later, the damage is often done. People may never see the correction or still feel the doubt in the back of their minds. Social media platforms use algorithms that promote the most engaging content. So deepfakes, which are often built to provoke outrage, end up spreading faster than actual news. By the time the platforms or the fact checkers step in, millions of people have already seen the fake video, shared it, and started arguments in the comment section. Some platforms are trying to fight back. Facebook, Twitter, and others have rolled out policies to catch and remove deepfakes. But the truth is, the technology to detect them is still a work in progress, and unfortunately, a lot of fakes still slip through the cracks. The real damage of deepfakes isn't just about one fake video, it's about trust. If we can't trust what we are seeing, making informed decisions become nearly impossible. In politics, where voters rely on accurate info to choose their leaders, deepfakes can seriously undermine that trust. The effects go far beyond just one election. It erodes confidence in the whole system. Deepfakes are getting harder to spot, but not impossible. Here's how you can play detective. First things first, pay attention to the eyes. In many deepfakes, the person might blink less often than normal human, or sometimes not at all. Why? Because apparently AI hasn't quite figured out the whole natural blinking thing. Next, let's talk facial expressions. If the smile looks little too much like a forced family photo smile, you might be looking at a fake. Deepfakes struggled with natural emotions. Maybe the eyebrows are doing their own thing, or expressions just seem off. Those are the red flags. And here's a big one, lip syncing. If the words and the lips don't quite match up, that's another telltale sign. Even the best deepfakes sometimes fail to perfectly sync the lips with the audio.
I took some very bad advice. I did some very bad things. I never should have challenged President Trump.
It's like watching someone in one of those old kung fu movies. Cool, but not exactly real. Now let's talk lighting. In real life, the light on someone's face should be smooth and consistent. But with deep fakes, well, sometimes lighting doesn't get the memo. It's like a bad Photoshop job, but in motion. Lastly, skin texture and hair. AI has a bit of a problem when it comes to tiny details like wrinkles, pores, fine hair. So if the skin looks a little too smooth, like someone overdid it with a beauty filter, or hair seems more solid than it should, you've got yourself a deepfake. And if the hair is blending into the background like it's glitching in a video game, yep, that's another clue. Still not sure if you're looking at a fake? No worries. Like for everything in this world, there is an app for that. Tools like Deepware and Sensity are designed to do hard work for you. You can upload the video and they'll analyze it for things like mismatched frames or digital tampering. On a side note, this video is not sponsored by Deepware or Sensity. At the end of the day, deepfakes are only going to get harder to spot. But if you know what to look for, you can catch them before they catch you. The key, always approach shocking or surprising videos with a healthy dose of skepticism. Don't believe in everything you see at first glance. And before hitting share, maybe take a second look or run it through a detection tool. As deepfakes get more realistic and way more common, they bring up some serious ethical and legal questions. Like, who is responsible when a deepfake goes viral? What happens if someone's reputations get trashed by a fake video? And how are governments supposed to regulate a technology that's evolving faster than your phone's software updates? On one hand, deepfakes can be used in fun, harmless ways like adding an actor's face into a movie scene, but on the other hand, they can seriously mess with people's lives. We're talking about misleading the public, damaging reputations, and even creating fake evidence in court. It's a slippery slope between creative use and outright harmful use. One of the biggest challenges here is protecting free speech while keeping harmful deepfakes in check. In countries like US, people have the right to say what they want, even if what they say stirs up controversy. But what happens when AI gets involved and starts creating false videos that deceive millions? Should there be limits on what people can share online? Deepfakes present a unique challenge. While we don't want to restrict creative freedom, we also have to make sure this technology isn't being used in ways that harm individuals or society as a whole. And let's talk about privacy for a second. Deepfakes raise a lot of concern in this area. For example, some people have had their faces used in fake videos without their permission. Imagine waking up to find your face starring in a video you never agreed to make. It's especially problematic in case of adult movie industry, which has already hurt a lot of people. Imagine logging onto your computer only to find out that your face, photos taken from your own social media, has been plastered on explicit images without your consent. And that's what happened to Helen Mort, a poet from UK who discovered that her face had been edited onto violent, degrading adult movies. She never took or shared intimate photos, yet there she was, violated in front of strangers. But here's the real kicker. The images were frighteningly realistic, created with deepfake technology. For Helen, the damage went far beyond fake image. She was humiliated, terrified, and began doubting everyone around her, even the closest to her. It's like they're telling you we can always do this to you, she said. And she's not alone. Around 90% of deepfakes target women, turning their faces into weapons for exploitation. This isn't just a tech problem. It's an attack on trust, safety, and dignity. So how are governments handling this? Well, they're trying. In the US, a few states like California have passed laws making it illegal to use deepfakes to influence elections or create non-consensual deepfake adult movies. But on national level, there is still a lot of catching up to do. Across the pond in Europe, the EU is stepping up to fight against online disinformation. They've got rules that require social media platforms to take down harmful content, including deepfakes. But the problem is, in a country with free speech, who gets to define what is considered harmful? And in China, they've got one step further, making sure that any deepfake video are clearly labeled as fake. But globally, most countries are still in figuring it out phase when it comes to regulating deepfakes. Even when laws do exist, enforcing them is a whole another challenge. Deepfakes can be made and shared anonymously, which makes tracking down the creator like finding a needle in digital haystack. And when these videos are hosted on platforms in other countries, well, good luck taking legal action. To tackle the problem, some tech companies are working on AI tools that can automatically detect deepfakes. These tools scan videos for things like unnatural movements or odd lighting changes. But here's the thing, as deepfake technology improves, even the detection tools are having trouble keeping up. So what's the solution? As deepfakes get more advanced, governments and tech companies are realizing they need to step up their game. Some experts believe we need global rules to control deepfakes since they spread across borders so quickly. Others think social media platforms should be held more accountable for the content they let people share. At the end of the day, finding the right balance between protecting free speech and stopping the harmful use of deepfakes is going to be one of the big challenges of the next few years. Today's deepfakes are already super convincing, but fast forward a few years and they could be almost impossible to tell apart from the real one. When deepfakes first hit the scene, they were glitchy and little obvious. But those flaws, they are disappearing. The tech is getting so good that even experts might struggle to spot what's real and what's fake in near future. This brings up a huge issue for news and information. We used to rely on video and audio recordings as undeniable proof for what's real. But now, yeah, not so much. This could seriously mess with how we consume news. If people don't trust what they are watching, they might start doubting everything they see. And that kind of confusion, it's a perfect recipe for chaos, especially during big events like elections, protests, or global crises. But it doesn't stop there. Deepfakes could totally wreck the trust between people, governments, and the media. Imagine a world where every shocking video or important statement is met with suspicion. It would be nearly impossible to hold anyone accountable, and trusting what we see would become a serious challenge. But hey, it's not all doom and gloom. Deepfakes have some cool potential too, especially in creative industries. We're talking movies, arts, even virtual reality. Filmmakers can use deepfakes to bring actors back to life or recreate historical figures. Imagine fully interactive stories where you are part of the movie. It's like being in the Matrix. But as the saying goes, with great power comes great responsibility. As deepfakes become more common in entertainment, they could easily leak into other areas like social media, politics, or even personal relationships. The big question is, how do we make sure they are used responsibly and not, to mess with people's lives? So what's the game plan here? As deepfakes get more advanced, we need to prepare now. That means building better tools to spot fake videos, teaching people how to tell fact from fiction, and creating stronger laws to keep AI from being used for harm. Tech companies and researchers are already working on AI tools that can sniff out deepfakes before they spread. But it's not just about tech. We need to teach people to be more critical of stuff they see online. The more we understand how deepfakes work, the harder it will be for them to fool us. Governments will have to step up too. Some countries are already passing laws to regulate deepfakes, but there's still a long way to go. As this tech evolves, the legal system is going to have to play catch up to make sure deepfakes don't get out of control. The key here is learning to question what we see and think critically about the videos we encounter. Because in a world of deepfakes, seeing might not always mean believing. We've covered a lot in this video, from how deepfakes are made to the dangers they pose in politics, how they spread like wildfire on social media, and even the legal and ethical hurdles we are all facing. But what does it all really mean for us, for our decisions, for how we see and understand the world? As technology is moving faster than we can wrap our heads around it, deepfakes are just one piece in this much bigger puzzle. Misinformation, digital manipulation, you name it. But here's the good news. We are not powerless. We can train ourselves to be more skeptical, to question what we see, and actively look for reliable sources of information. Each one of us has a role to play. Just by taking that extra second to pause, question, and verify what we are watching, we can protect ourselves and others from being misled. Technology is advancing fast, but guess what? So can our awareness. Honestly, this whole topic makes me rethink how much we rely on what we see. It's just second nature, right? We trust our eyes and ears. Confronting the reality of deepfakes makes us question not just what we see, but who we trust. But this also makes me appreciate the power of truth even more. In a world where lies can look as real as the truth is more important than ever. Whether it's through laws, better technology, or just being more aware, we have ways to protect what's real. Because in the end, truth is what keeps societies together. In digital age, we are the front line. Let's stay aware, stay sharp, and make sure we protect the truth. If this video made you stop and think, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you're interested in learning more about the world around us, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Let's keep exploring, stay informed, and stay curious together. And that's what this thread is all about. Until next time, stay safe.